I'm live. Hello, world. Josh was first. And ALK3MU. Not another one. Yep, another one. 1 AM, just hitting the pit, and Dave goes live. Dang. Hey, Ian. Go to sleep. Jesus. Don't hang out here. Dun, dun, dun. Hey, Roderick. Fourth, actually, Roderick. There might have been some comment lag. There is endless debate over who's first. Get back to work. Not allowed to. Mrs. EEVblog won't let me get back to work. Whew. Hey, Daniel. Wow, 60 people watching already. A lot of people click on X. X is really picking up in terms of like live viewers. We've got 49 people who have at least started the stream. Whether or not they're, they remain active, I don't know. Because it's 53 on X, 28 on EEVblog 2, 1 on Facebook. Wow. How's my camera? I look overexposed. Or is that just my screen? Because it's really bright. It's bright out there. Ooh. Hey, Reggie. Paul. What's going on in Australia? I don't know. Not much. Not as much as Canada. Twitter. Not a fan of the Twitter? Or do you mean none of that X rubbish? Twitter all the way with LBJ. Need a little Vass on the lens. Right. How is the lens? I think the lens is all right. How's the audio? Is the audio good? Well, I assume you can hear me. You would have complained already. Check. Automatically adjust mic volume is on. Looks fine. As far away from Australia as you can get. Everything's as far away from Australia as you can get, except New Zealand. Sup? Megahertz? Power Weasel? Audio good? Looks and sounds great. Awesome. It's probably a bit echoey. I am in a glass house cubicle at the moment. So yeah, there's that. -10. What is this -10? How can temperatures get negative? I do not understand. Australians do not understand negative temperatures. Quite amazing, this internet directly connected to Australia. Hey, Diego. Brazil? What about Brazil? Are you from Brazil? Put a question mark. You don't seem sure. Hey, Mike from Adelaide. Hey, my left. What's up with Starlink? Well, I am streaming this with Starlink. So, for those who watched it the other day, I think it might not have been Starlink going down. I think it might have been a power failure, because apparently there was a brief power failure here which reset the clocks. So that could have like reset the Starlink dish, and it took like, a minute or a couple of minutes to reboot or something to reconnect. Another frosty Canadian, Justin. Doesn't matter what temperature. It is in Canada today. It is excellent in Canada today. It is excellent. Congratulations to all my Canadian viewers. Well done. Well, directly through multiple satellites, yeah. I don't know. Don't know how it all works. I've never looked into the technical details of Starlink, really. I don't know. -7. Yeah, don't get it. Don't get it. Don't understand negative temperatures. Oof. Less than 5 kilo package to Australia is 72 euros. Yeah, don't spend that to send me something. Four degrees in the nether regions. -9. What's all this bullshit? -6 in Estonia. Has the rest of the world gone mad? What's wrong with the rest of the world? Negative temperatures. So much for global warming. Is it the Rome plan? I have no idea, Rassenbot, because it's not my plan. This is not my Starlink. I'm just using someone else's Starlink at the place I'm at. So I have no idea. I haven't even seen it. I have no idea where it is. Might have to go around and have a squiz to see where the Starlink is. It's not on the ground, so it's got to be on the roof somewhere. I can do you a speed update. I will do a speed update. Speedtest.net. Go. SpaceX Starlink. Oh, it's connected to it's automatically detected GSL networks. Who's GSL networks in Sydney? Nowhere near Sydney, so that's quite the it's quite the hop. 33 millisecond ping. There you go. That's the best ping I've seen. 33 millisecond ping to GSL networks in Sydney, and I am 1,000 kilometres from Sydney. I'm a long way from Sydney. And looks like 90 megabits per second download, and upload's still going, but it looks like it's about 12-ish. Yeah, 12 megabits upload, 19 megabits download for the old Starlink. Game changer if you're in the middle of whoop whoop. Starlink is shit, confirmed. Why? Why would you call it shit? 90 megabits is awesome. You remember, you got to compare it. This happens every time on X. Every time on X/Twitter. You mention Starlink at all in any sort of, speed. Oh, it's shit. It's shit. It costs 3 times the price and it's half the speed. Like, fuck. It's not designed. Starlink is not designed to compete with terrestrial services. Compare it with another satellite service in the middle of whoop whoop, and it's pretty good. That's no faster than my at home. I've only got 100 megabits at home, and I'm on cable. I'm on NBN cable. I'm on direct copper link, direct coax link to home. Sure, I can get faster at the lab because I've got fibre to the lab. But if I had fibre to the home, as many homes in Sydney do, yeah, I could get a gigabit if I wanted. If I want to pay a ridiculous price for it. Thunderfoot enters the chat. You have a tree problem. Well, move your dish from under the tree. Starlink is better than no internet. Starlink is awesome. Imagine being in the middle of freaking whoop whoop, or I don't know, some people mount them on their vans if they're like traveling around and stuff. Imagine like being able to get, even 100, even 50 megabits is tons. What do you need more than that for? I mean, seriously. Like I said, at home, I've got 100 megabits download and 20 megabits upload, or 25 megabits upload, and it's fine. It does absolutely at no point at home have I ever thought, oh, geez, the internet's slow. Never. I'm streaming 4K movies because everything we watch is streamed now. So I'm streaming 4K movies at 50 megabits to the Netflix server or whatever, because they give you all like a little speed test, and it's like 50 megabits to the local Netflix server. I think you need 20. You need a minimum of 20 megabits to stream 4K content, otherwise it drops you down. The other services, as far as I know, don't have a speed test. Maybe they do, but I haven't looked or found it. How much is the cost of fibre to home in Sydney? Yeah, imagine, like, we've got a system here in Australia. I don't know much about it, but it's a geosynchronous orbit satellite. We have a satellite service in Australia called Sky Muster, and I think there's 2 satellites total, which covers all of Australia. Don't quote me on that, but I think it's 2 geosynchronous satellites called Sky Muster. And apparently that's part of our NBN, our National Broadband System. And that's for people in the middle of nowhere, like I am at the moment. I'm in the middle of nowhere. And you can choose Starlink or Sky Muster. Knock yourself out with Sky Muster. Good luck. Man, yeah. You can hate Musk, you can hate Starlink, you can hate the satellite pollution. You can hate all that shit, but you'll have to admit that Starlink's a game changer. If you don't, you've got Elon derangement syndrome or something. Because people in the middle of nowhere, seems pretty good. Everyone I know who's got it raves about it. It's been a game changer for them. It's not yet available in the Faros, the Faros E Island for private users. I have no idea what that is, Reggie. But it sounds like it's in the middle of whoop whoop. 2 megabits per second download. I can remember when I first started the blog, for many years, I had to do my uploads at home because I had the Telstra cable, that cable connection. It wasn't 100 megabits back then. I think I could get 50 meg, 5 meg or something back then, but I had 5 megabits per second upload at home. And at the office, where I only had ADSL 2+, I did my editing at work, and I physically took my videos home on a sneaker net on a USB stick, and then I uploaded them home because I had like 5 times the bandwidth at home than I had at the office. To answer your question, fibre to the home in Sydney, it's free. It's free because Australia implemented the National Broadband Network, NBN it's called here, and we paid $50 billion, billion with a B, which doesn't sound like much these days, but it was huge back then. $50 billion, but we didn't do fibre. As part of that, I got fibre to the lab, but I did not get fibre to home because I was in an area that was designated because we elected the wrong government at the time, and that was our big election thing, was our choice. Do we want fibre to the home or do we want fibre to the node? And all the voters voted fibre to the node, dickheads. Anyway, but I guess if you didn't care about the internet or you didn't care about technical details, then you just voted for whoever you normally vote for, and well, you know, we have to live with that. So if you happen to have fibre to your home here in Australia, which in Sydney I think there's 2 million homes connected with fibre in Sydney, or 1.5 million or something homes in Sydney, in New South Wales, or in Sydney. Is it in Sydney? It might just be in Sydney. Actually fibre connected. Mine is not one of them. For insert reason here. But yeah, if you've got that, I don't know, you can get a cheap NBN plan for $50 a month, something like that. I don't know what the cheapest is at the moment, but you won't get your 1 gigabit for that. You'll have to pay many hundreds of dollars a month here in Australia for a few hundred megabits. So, yeah. At home, I'm paying like, I think it's $80-90 a month for my fibre, for my 100 megabit, for my coax. I'm using the old Foxtel cable system. So HFC it's called, fibre No, hybrid fiber coax, HFC, fiber. So it's fiber to the local street thing, and then they have repeaters in the street, which then go over the coax network. So other people still have it going over the phone lines. Fiber, other ones who have fiber to the node then go over twisted pair copper to, I don't know what speeds they're getting, but thank you very much, Diego. Starlink saved your butt when you moved to Germany from Brazil. Turns out that third world fiber beats first world nothing by infinity. Yes, yes. Yeah, when you're talking Starlink, and I'll be accused of being a Musk lick ass, Musk fanboy. Go ahead. I don't give a shit. if you're that delusional, go ahead. Yeah, Starlink's a game changer for a ton of people. If you're in the middle of whoop whoop and you have the choice between no internet or Sky Muster here in Australia, and magically you get 50 or 100 megabits on Starlink. Some people are getting 300, 500 megabits. It depends on the, I don't know why I'm only getting 100 megabits here on Skylink where I am. Presumably there's a lot of people using it around here. So yeah. So it doesn't scale all that well until they're talking about they're launching the new Starlink satellites. Anyway, thank you very much, Diego, for the 5 buckaroos. That buys me lunch at the moment with the exchange rate. Yeah, I'm worried about the Kessler syndrome. Yeah, within 2 decades. I hope you're wrong. Yeah, we have no effective plan. Yeah, we have nothing. We got nothing. Let's hope that, it doesn't happen. That's literally all you can do. We've already got enough shit up there, even without Starlink putting their 5,000 satellites up there, which are in low Earth orbit, and they decay fairly fast. Yeah, there's no effective plans if it happens. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's scary. Scary. They don't have enough. I'll pay that one, Liam. No need to worry about the Sky Muster users getting upset. They don't have enough bandwidth to watch this. Yeah. Last I heard, Sky, like I actually looked at the stats just the other day, which is last I heard. Sky Muster still had like 1 million customers. Also, what was it? I can't remember. Sorry, I don't have the tab open still. Anyway, I did look at the data. Sky Muster. No, but that might have been based on old data. That might have been like 2023 or 2024 data. I think they peaked at 1.1 million or 1.5 million users on Sky Muster, because that was the only option for Aussies in the outback. Pretty much the only option. So yeah, yes. I don't know what costs Sky Muster. I assume you can get it for regular NBN plan because it's subsidised. Everything NBN is subsidised by the taxpayer. Well, the infrastructure is, so the taxpayer paid for the satellites and everything else. So I assume they just give that to you at the standard rate you'd get it for anywhere else. I can't believe that wouldn't be the case, because you'd be dead politically if you did that. So yes, the people in the big smoke have to subsidise the satellites for people out in the outback, which is fine. I got no problems with that. Everyone should have internet. If we're going to spend our money, get people bloody internet. Uncensored, unfiltered internet, please. Germany has ridiculously bad internet, really? I thought Australia was deemed one of the worst. No, yeah, but I can't complain. Like my 100 megabits at home is fine. That's my only option at home. My only option at home is the HFC, the hybrid fiber coax, or Starlink. I could get Starlink at home, I guess, but there's no need until something happens to my hybrid fiber coax, HFC, my coax system. Because I'd just end up paying more for Starlink. No Starlink in Bolivia. There you go. Bummer. in horrid internet in New Mexico, really. Starlink is one of the few decent options. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm yet to know somebody who has gone to Starlink and gone, this is shit, I'm going back. Because anyone who already has decent internet is not going to switch to Starlink. That's not the point. There's no point. So... Story from Greenland. Eastern Greenland, they have shit in national internet and some foreign, most likely Danish doctors working there at Starlink because the national needs poo-poo and was out. Yeah, they just take it upon themselves. Yeah, with patient journal systems, yeah. Yep, in the government for butthurt. Wasn't there was a story about, I don't know, 6 months ago or something maybe? Or it might have been more recent than that, where a US Navy ship, somebody got pissed off with the internet on there. I think it was like the chief of the boat or something. No, that's a submarine thing. Anyway, a surface vessel, a US submarine, a US surface vessel, warship. Somebody smuggled a Starlink dish on there, and then they were broadcasting it throughout the ship. And everyone who knew had the password would just log into there because it was way better than whatever internet they had on the ship. But yeah, I think it was the second in command of the boat or something did it. I think they got, maybe if you can search for that, I'm sure you can Google that. Anyway, that's rather funny. Yeah, welcome to stole the money and gave us crap. Well, yep, happened with the NBN here too. A lot of people made money on the NBN. It wasn't me. You're getting 500 megbits on your phone, Heinrich. Yeah. Yeah, some people have way better phone than most people do. The internet here in Australia, it's crazy. Yeah, you remember data caps. Oh my God. I can remember I downloaded a movie, I torrented a movie once, and because I really wanted to watch it. And that was my data cap blown for the month. I had to wait a couple of weeks before I could do anything again. Oh man. Yep. Low Earth orbit satellites are going to de-orbit sooner and just rain down on us. Yeah, but they all burn up. They all burn up. There's none of them that are big. I don't think there's any of them that are big enough to reach the surface, are there? Yeah, fibre to the premises for the win. Yeah. Yeah, I've done that video where the first day I got my my fibre installed at the lab. Oh my God, I couldn't believe it. And it was way ahead of schedule. Because the NBN system, they had this map. You could log into the government map website or the NBN map website, and you could put in your address, and that included a corporate business tower like I'm in, and you could see when they were going to connect. And it was 2 years time. Yeah, you'll get fibre, and it was and yeah, I just went shit. And then months later, boom. I just got an email saying, I can't remember, something like that. Maybe I heard somehow that, congratulations, your building is now connected to the NBN by fibre. And, no, maybe I saw him in the corridor. That's right, I might have seen him in the corridor because they have to place, because they went around every floor and they installed a little fibre just above your doorway, like a little box. Because they can't enter your premises, so they can't install it. So they drag fibre through the corridors and straight to the top of your roof. I'm sure I showed this in a video somewhere. I think I saw it. They're up there with ladders, in front of the office next door, and I go, "What are you installing?" And he went, "NBN." Oh, fuck. That's right. That's right. I'm pretty sure that's how I found out, was they were physically there installing the thing. And then next thing I know, there's a box in front of my office and yeah, a little, like a plate, just like an access plate so that you don't have to take the tiles off. You can just, and yeah. So I immediately joined the NBN and that was great. So I got fibre directly to my office. The weird thing is, for those who don't know, for those who haven't seen my videos on the internet in my office, it's been an endless saga for the last 10 years I've had my office, 11 years now or something. Internet in there. I had to get my own fibre installed. I got my own fibre installed directly to my office tower. I found a company, even though there were already 2 or 3, there were 3 other fibres already going to my building. But they were so expensive. One was Telstra, one was Optus, and one was ATP or something, whoever it is, ATP or somebody. And all of them, like Telstra wanted $8,000, what was it? $8,000 a month. You heard me correctly. I did not. It was $8,000 a month to connect, to get a 20 meg symmetrical connection on the Telstra fibre. and I think the Optus one was like $1,000 a month. And it was $1,000 a month, and they only gave you like 10. They would get a serious, like, $1,000 on Optus for 10, and the other one they wouldn't do it for some reason. I don't know. So yeah, there were already 2 fibres. So I went, screw this. So I found a company who would install, who specialised in, there was a company, like a private little tiny company, who specialised in installing fibre to office towers like mine, and they were targeting Norwest, where I am. So I said, do you want to install one in my building? I'll try and rustle up some extra customers for you. And they went, great, if you can find us a couple of customers, we'll install it. So I found a couple of customers who were keen to hook up as well. And bingo, they paid for the fibre to be installed. They didn't ironically, they didn't physically do it. They farmed it out to Telstra. So it's some weird, so even though Telstra wanted to charge me many thousands of dollars a month for a 10 meg, for a 20 meg connection, this company could get this fibre installed. I think they said it was like $5,000 to install the fibre, but they would, to physically install it. I don't know where they pulled it from, some local node somewhere, I don't know. But yeah, $5,000 to install it, but they would cover that cost if I could get a couple of people signed up in my building. We were $400 a month. That was when I was paying $400 a month for my internet, but I was getting, what was I getting? 50 meg, I think, the first time, and then I upgraded not long after that to 100 meg. So yeah, it was fibre. But 100 meg was the limit because it wasn't fibre to my office, it was fibre to the basement comms room. And yeah, fibre to the basement comms room and then VDSL. So I had a VDSL modem over twisted pair copper that went from the comms room down in the basement to my office, but its maximum was like 100 meg, or yeah, 120 meg, and I maxed that out. So yeah, so it was. So I was going as fast as the twisted pair copper over VDSL would physically allow. The modem, the VDSL modems would determine the maximum speed based on the quality of the copper, which went through all the patch panels and stuff. You know, the phone patch panels. So yeah, nuts. And then so I was paying $400 a month for internet, or was it $420 a month or something for internet at my office. And then once the NBN came along, boom, it was $100 a month. Now I'm paying $180. I was paying $210 a month until recently, when I discovered that my internet service provider was ripping me off and not giving me the discount that they gave to all new customers. So I got my plan switched, and sure enough, now I'm like $180 a month at the office, and I upgraded to now I'm 250 meg 250 meg or something. So yeah. Anyway, there you go. Yes, but I've done many videos on my office internet. Same telco in the end. No. Technically, it was being charged by that small company, so I was paying them the $400 a month. But all they did was contract Telstra to install the fibre. So Telstra's like, because they didn't have a license to physically pull fibre through the streets and stuff, right? So they contracted Telstra, which is our big service provider here, who wanted to charge me many thousands of dollars a month just to pull the cables, the fibre. So they pulled the fibre to our office, and then the company installed their own rack. I think it's still there, but I don't think they have any customers anymore once the NBN went in. And then, they installed their own rack with their own hardware. So I'm not sure where the other end was, but they installed their own rack and hardware. This was before the NBN, so this was not part of the NBN. This was their own private system or something. So the back end was not NBN. So, so they installed their own rack down in the basement of the building. $84 a month, you get 1 gig 50, yeah. In here, Telecom just installed the fibre to your house for free, and then if you want to connect that, you just pay for the fibre router and like 100, yeah, that's the same what it is here. That's the same with our NBN, our National Broadband Network. They'll install fibre to your house if you're in a location that's lucky enough to have it, like a new build. Like if you're in a new build area, they will install fibre to your house. It's part of the thing. But if you're in an old area like I am, they only upgraded some areas. Who knows what the magic formula was? I wasn't part of it, so I don't have fibre to my house. And the copper that goes to my house, as in the old phone twisted pair copper that went to my house, that's completely rotted away. And I was, at one point, with ADSL 2 Plus at home, I was getting 800k board. I was getting 800k bits per second. 800k on a good day. Because my copper was just rotted beyond belief. And it was all submerged in water, like all the troughs were, like, it was just, man, it was just awful. Anyway. Anyway, that's enough talk about the NBN. Oh, by the way, I'm probably only here for like an hour, something like that. The only one here is me and the Huckster. How you doing, Hux? No, he's somewhere else. Sure, he's doing fine. Central Coast, Max? Yeah, you got upgraded for some. Yeah, I don't know what the criteria was. Yep, but yeah, my house, my street didn't get it. So, and we're not in that old an area. I mean, it's 30 years old. It's not like ancient, you know. Mine is actually the newer area of our suburb. Well, it's one of the newer. Well, it's not new in, you know, there's a couple of new ones that have sprung up in the last 5 or 10 years, but ours was one of the new ones in terms of my suburb. So, anyway, that's enough about internet, even though I titled this the Starlink edition. Any Canadians in the house? Put your hand up. I know there was one Canadian in the house. Stand up and be recognised. Canadians. Woot. Yeah, time zone. Oh, no, you're probably asleep. Half the Canadians would be asleep, wouldn't they? Maybe on the West Coast. They're still up. Right here. There you go. Rob. Analog. Enough about the internet while streaming on the internet. Okay. Yeah. Canada, SCBs from Canada. Baxter. Oh, yes. Splinter CNC. Yes, I've still got that. And Out of Time license plate. Back to the Future. Is it on my current shelf? I can't remember. I think it might be. Yes. No, or I've got the plate there. But yes, thank you. Central Canada, Rory. 3:40 a.m. while watching you. I know. Analog, it's 8:30 p.m. Yeah, you must be on west coast of Canada. Central Canada, Rory. Yep. Canadian Electrodacus is Canadian. Ontario, 57 Dent. 739, okay, in Sask, Canada. Haven't heard of Sask. Where's Sask? It's got to be on the west coast there. Get on to me, count it. Yes, it's a red letter day. You're in Toronto. I like Toronto. Oh, you haven't read anything yet, Diego? Yes. Yes. Fidel Castro's son, Justin Trudeau, is gone. Well, he's not gone yet. Yes. After I had been teased about this for months. He's about to resign. He's about to resign. Yeah. And I just posted on X last night. Yeah, I am not falling for this good news. Again, this good news rumour. Please call me when it finally happens. And sure enough, I woke up this morning and it finally happened. Trudeau has announced he will resign after he finds they go through the process to find another party leader. But yes, he's gone. Gone ski. Will Canada get its freedom back? Can it claw it back? We don't know. But yes, Fidel Castro's son is gone. And for those who think I'm joking, I'm not. Justin Trudeau is Fidel Castro's son, it's obvious. If you haven't looked into the details of that, I highly recommend it. It's amazing. Yeah, I'm amazed it took that long. You voted him back in. What the hell were you thinking? When was the last election? It was just during COVID or something, wasn't it? And you elected the bloody guy back in. So, yeah. Isn't there an election there in October or something? Please correct me if I'm wrong. The slow goodbye. Yeah. Where am I? I'm in Whoop Whoop. I'm in Whoop Whoop, as we say here in Australia. Look up Whoop Whoop. W-O-O-P. W-O-O-P. Whoop Whoop. He has to find a new house here. Yeah, he gets his lifetime parliamentary pension and he gets all the kickbacks for all the favours he did. So, yep, good gig if you can get it, if your conscience can do that. Destroy the country and your lifetime pension. Congratulations. You went to a soldering contest. You got third place. Nice work, Heinrich. Excellent. Well done. Come on, man. It's just one photo. No, it's not. Look into the details. I highly recommend you look into the details. I can go through. Who wants to give me a TLDR of why Justin Trudeau is Fidel Castro's son? Yeah, that's kind of like here in Australia. No serious can. Well, I don't know. The apple eating dude, Pierre Poilievre, he sounds pretty good, but I don't know. He's a flip flopper, isn't he? He just goes with the tide. But that's way orders of magnitude better, orders of magnitude improvement. So yep, I do believe he will balls it in, won't he? He will get like hundreds of seats, and it looks like Trudeau's Lib Party is going to get like 40 seats or something. Jack all. It depends who they put in. They will reluctantly put someone in, but yeah, it's going to be a bloodbath. Yeah, there's a federal election soon, is there? Yeah. Why am I so interested in Canadian politics? Well, A, I have lots of Canadian viewers and friends, and B, Canada is a fellow Commonwealth country, so whatever happens in Canada also affects us here in Australia, being part of the Commonwealth and the UK connection and everything. And also, I hate tyranny. I hate tyranny. So yes, a big middle finger to Justin Trudeau. Yes, it is true. He's Castro's son. Dave is interfering in Canadian politics. Oh no. You would love a TLDR. Okay, I'll give you a TLDR. Yeah, oh, here we go, Snopes. Here we go, someone's put up Snopes, I haven't read this yet. What does Snopes say? Which is very left-leaning, by the way. Margaret Trudeau and Castro met in 1971 and were close friends ever after. Margaret Trudeau was sexually promiscuous. Castro and Justin Trudeau were similar in appearance. Wow, even Snopes has that. Really? Wow. Yes. People have gone through the timeline. Yes. Justin Trudeau's mother was a flower child, let's say, in 1971, in the 60s and 70s. So yes, very sexually promiscuous. This is on camera. She's admitted all this on camera. It's nothing, it's not rumours or anything. And yes, and they were on this. People have gone through the timeline of when he must have been conceived, and at the time he must have been conceived, they were on Castro's private island. They were on Castro's private island, and Castro really liked her, and she really liked Castro, and they were on Castro's private island, and yes, and he looks nothing like his father, and he looks exactly like Castro. There's no doubt about it, and there's lots of other connections as well. I'm surprised that's on Snopes. Wow, because Snopes is yes, very very left leaning. I'm surprised, but then again, Snopes has debunked the Fine People hoax that got Biden elected. So there you go, tides are turning. Trade countries with you. No, I'll stick here in Australia. Thanks. Although we've got our own political problems. We've got no opposition. We've got our prime ministers. It's very similar to Trudeau in terms of like their popularities in there. I think our current PM, Albo, is, as we call him, Albo here. He's record low. I do believe it is record low polling for Albo. Like he's out at the next election. But our opposition, holy shit, they're exactly the same. They're exactly the same. There's no difference. There's no difference. We've got nothing. We've got nothing. We have no Pierre Poilievre. I can't do the French pronunciation, sorry. We've got no one like that. We've got nothing. What's my favourite conspiracy theory? I don't know. I was watching Iron Sky last night. So moon Nazis. Moon Nazis. Totally. It's great. Oh man, it's such a good movie. Oh yeah, and it was hilarious. Absolutely hilarious that Trudeau Baxter. It was funny that Trudeau resigned or announced his resignation on January 6th. Oh, chef's kiss. I love how Trump's been trolling him. Oh my God. Trump's a master level troll. It's hilarious. It's great. The great state of the great governor of the great state of Canada. Oh, good stuff. Good stuff. Pauline Hanson, no, she's not going to do it. I heard she's young. I haven't looked into details, but I think she might be the only one left in her party. I think didn't a couple of her party people now have quit the party, have become independent. So no, Pauline Hanson doesn't have the gravitas to be PM, and she's just a senator. There's another dude I just saw on Twitter the other day. I can't remember his name, but he was against the recent bill. He was very vocal against it, and everyone's talking up his name as a future PM. And I don't know enough about him, but he's saying the right things at the moment. But he's in the Senate, so a senator can't be prime minister here. So there's talk about him moving him to the House somehow, moving him from the Senate to the House, where then yes, you can become prime minister, because the leader of the House that is elected here becomes prime minister. That's same as it works in Canada and as well. Yes, I'm on holiday somewhere. Yeah, we've got no one. The old outlaw. Yeah, we've got no one. It's just like, yeah, you boot elbow out. What do you get? You get the same shit, different smell. Like, it's not even a flavoured smell. It's like it's literally the same smell. Yeah, because just like in the UK, our Conservative Party here, which is the Liberal Party here, which is ironic, everything's back to front. For those who don't know Australian politics, the Liberal Party here is the equivalent to the Republican Conservative Party in the US. So yeah, it's kind of liberal has a different backwards meaning. Although it's still you can still use the word liberal to mean what it traditionally means, but the Liberal Party here in Australia is the Conservative Party. The Labor Party here, which is currently in power, is the left-leaning party. So yeah, and yeah, just like in the UK, our Conservative Party isn't conservative and doesn't want to protect basic rights. Is Pauline Hanson the one actually promoting burqas? No, she's anti-burqa. She once famously appeared, she wore a burqa in the Senate. She wore a burqa in the Senate as, I don't know, she was making some statement, I can't remember what it was. No, we don't have senators appointed for life. No, I think is it a 6-year term here for senators, and then half of them get voted out every 3 years. So I think it's a 6-year term, and half. So here in our state, for example, half of the senators from our state will be re-elected in the federal election this year. Like, as in, it could be as early as April, something like that. So yeah, only half of them come up for re-election. So I guess you don't want to get rid of them all at once. I don't know. That was the intention behind it. So yes, half will remain for another 3 years. But yeah, I think we have 6-year terms here. Someone please correct me. Only Paul Hogan can save AU. Well, I talked about this the other day. Oh yeah, the LNP, for those who don't know, it's a Liberal National Party coalition thing here. But yeah, I think it's more Liberal than it is national. Yeah, so those two parties joined. Yep, versus Labor. They're the two big parties here. Yes, the Libs is a coalition. Well, yeah, the Liberal, yes. But it's called the Liberal. No, yeah, it's the Liberal Party plus the National Party. Which is the LNP. Yeah. Do a collab with I Did a Thing. I don't know I Did a Thing. I have no idea who I Did a Thing is. It's kind of familiar, but I wouldn't be able to tell you I've ever watched it. I don't know what politics is like in the nether regions. Sorry, I don't know. We have what's the official word for the parliament for this system in Australia? I drew a mental blank on this. It is a monarchy, democracy, whatever. I can't remember the exact. We're a representative democracy, yeah, but it's also we're also under a king as well. Yes. Yes, we are a representative democracy and constitutional monarchy. There you go. Yes. And we're also a federation of states. So yeah, we're a bit complicated, but we're a representative democracy. So how it works here is that, hang on. Yeah, how it works here, we have a House and a Senate, and a House is made up of representatives from a local area. So they try and, I'm in a local area which has its own seat. So we have our own federal politician which will sit in the House of Reps, which is the lower house. They're the ones who make the laws. They're the ones who propose the laws, and then the laws go to the upper house, which is the Senate. So senators then will vote on the law as well, and if it passes, and if a law passes both houses, then it's not automatically put into law. We have a representative of the king here in Australia. He is she at the moment, I think, is called the Governor General. And the Governor-General must sign off on all laws. But as sort of like a de facto rule, they always have. They always have. But the Governor-General in Australia has the right to dismiss, and which has happened once in our history, or maybe even twice, but once in modern times, 1975, was it? That they dismiss the Prime Minister. They dismiss the Prime Minister. So that was CIA-led. So you go down that conspiracy rabbit hole. The Australian dismissal, CIA. Down the rabbit hole you go. Go for it. Yeah. So yes, we represent a local person for the House. And then senators, we have 12 senators in New South Wales. So each state has a certain number of senators. We have 12 here in Australia, so we elect every 3 years we elect 6 of them. It's a rotating, so there's 12 of them, and we re-elect them every 3 years, but they get 6-year terms, so only half get put up, as I mentioned before. So yeah, we elect senators, which is a long ballot paper. It's like a metre long. It's huge. It's absolutely huge. So yeah. That's the Australian system. And then so we vote for a party. We vote for a party. So there is no president here. It's a prime minister. So we vote for the party, and so we do not vote for the head of this country, who is the Prime Minister. We do not vote for them. Their name does not appear, but they are a member of the House of Reps, right? So they are a local member. So technically, our Prime Minister can be booted out by the people in that seat. So the 70,000 people in that seat at the next election can boot our Prime Minister out. Because if you don't hold your seat at your local, so they put them in safe seats, like they put them in safes. That's always vote that way. If they want to protect the Prime Minister, they put him in a safe seat. But technically, everyone in that seat can go, no, we don't want this person, and they can vote him out. So if you lose your seat, you lose the Prime Ministership. So it's the head of the party that gets elected. So when we go into vote, we vote for a party. Or you can, So you vote for a party, and the head of the party, by default, by de facto, I don't think it has to be, but by tradition, the head of the party becomes the Prime Minister, which is sworn in by the Governor General. So that's how the Australian political system works, in a nutshell. Yeah, the LNP was formed because independently they split the Conservative vote and made it difficult to get into office. They had to join forces. Otherwise they would have lost every election to Labor. Yeah. Yep. But we have a bunch of independent senators. I think, how many independent senators? 8 or 10 independent senators in our Senate here. And you can also elect an independent to the House of Reps as well. So you can get an independent person to the House of Reps. There is no independent for the House of Reps in my local seat. There hasn't been for like a decade. And I thought about running just for kicks as an independent in my local seat. So, yeah. DGI is making e-bikes now. Really? They've branched out. Jesus. Regulate LED headlights. Yes, and we have a, we have, you can number them. So it's a preferential voting system. And I posted on X just like last week, I think, maybe a week ago on X. I posted a video to a very good explanation on how our voting system works, how our preferential voting system works. Yeah. Because it's quite tricky. Yes, we are a democracy with a monarch. And we did have a vote. We had a vote. Has it happened twice? List of Australian Republic votes. The 1999 Australian Republic referendum? Was there one before that? It was only in 1999. Yeah. Anyway, we had a vote in can't believe it's that long ago. Wow, I can remember that vividly. We had a vote. We had a referendum here. It's called, which is where everyone goes to vote. Everyone in the country goes to vote on a single issue, usually. And the issue was, should we ditch our king or queen at the time? Should we ditch our queen and become a republic with a president and be like all the US, and change it? That would require a change to our constitution, etc., right? So, and then we'd have to come up with our own system. So I assume we would have copied the US system to some extent, right? So yeah, and we voted no. We voted no. So I think it was fairly overwhelmingly. It was like 60+% or something voted no. Yeah. So we voted to become a republic, and we voted no. We're pretty happy with the Queen. Don't mind the Queen. Everyone liked the Queen. Everyone loved the Queen. Not many people liked the new King, but everyone loved Queenie. So yeah. So we voted to stay a democratic constitutional monarchy, or whatever it is, a representative democratic constitutional monarchy. I'm sure there's even a more technical name than that. Yeah, we actually put it to an official vote. If everyone voted yes to become a republic, Australia would have become a republic. Then the Senate would have been obligated to approve the changes. But I don't know. I can't remember the details. I can't remember if they already had a plan, and we were voting on the plan. I can't ever remember seeing an actual plan, or maybe I just didn't give a shit at the time. It was 25 years ago now. Jesus, that's a long time ago. So yeah, probably, I was youngish. I probably didn't care that much about the details. I don't know if we actually had all the details sorted out and everyone was able to... Did they have PDFs back then? I don't think so. Barely had the internet. And yeah, did everyone have to see? I can't remember. Honestly, I can't remember. 25 years ago, the referendum. I don't even remember what I voted. I think I voted to stay. I think I voted, just not rock the boat. I really can't. I can't definitively remember. But yes, yeah. So I think, the Senate would have been obligated to change the Constitution. It would have given them the power and the obligation to change the Constitution for us to become a republic, and then change the Constitution to whatever. Presumably they had. You can't just. I can't imagine you'd vote on that and then not have a plan. Although they did with Brexit, didn't they? They did that with Brexit. We have a plan to break away from the thing, but that's not as... I don't think that was as complicated as we had, as changing from a monarchy to a republic. So yeah, I presume we had a plan, but everyone voted no. So yeah, that was the thing. It actually happened. Yeah, well, it's just different. Yeah, I think, we're very laissez-faire here in Australia. We just, no worries, she'll be right, mate, is our national, thing. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of thing. And nobody has a problem with being a constitutional monarchy. They did boot out, the Governor-General booted out our PM back in the 1970s. But, yeah. So, anyway, we voted no. Yeah, I don't know what benefits. Yeah, being a republic, I don't know. Everyone likes Britain still. Well, we don't anymore. Britain's gone down the toilet. So, yeah, maybe it's time for another republic. What would I vote now? I don't know. I'd have to think about it. You don't think Australia could work as a republic? Yeah, we just don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, we'd make it work, as Australians always do. We make it work, no worries. But yeah, I don't know. Depends on the system we get put in place. We would have but then we would vote for it. But then we would be able to vote for a president. We'd be able to vote for an actual president. See, I don't know what sort of system. See, I don't like that the US, technically you can vote for an independent president in the US, but they're usually, party affiliated. So, it's so there's all that, there's all that politics. As I said, a name that often comes up is Dick Smith, Tricky Dick Smith. His name always comes up in the top 3 or 4 as being the first president of Australia. his name always comes up because he's trusted. He's a known name and he's trusted and he's, no bullshit kind of guy. So his name always comes up. Yeah, so I don't know if we would vote in an independent or whether or not, if we change to a republic, whether or not they'd be party affiliated. I hope not, because I would like to vote for a party, an independent. I wouldn't like to change to a system where it's just more of the same, where, the president who signs off on every law, like the Governor General here, doesn't have the balls to do anything, right? The Governor General just rubber stamps everything, every single law in Australian history. The Governor General's just stamped it, but the Governor General can say no. We actually, but we don't vote for the Governor General. So, the Governor General is appointed. So we don't have a say in who our Governor General is. So technically we do have someone who can veto every law, but we don't vote for him, so what's the point? So, yeah. Yeah, so I wouldn't like to change to a system where it's just party rule again. I would like a truly independent. Well, who else would you pick? Who else would you pick, my left? Give me another name. Go on. Give me another name. Give me another name. For President of Australia. Give me another name. I'm calling you out. There's a reason why Tricky Dick's name always comes up in like the top 3. Like, he's too old. No, he's pretty old now. He's in his 80s. Is he in his 80s, Tricky Dick? I call him up and ask. I've got his phone number. I'll call him up. Come on. My left. Give me a name. Dude, you're in Canada. You have no idea. Okay, you're taking the piss. Okay. Ned Kelly. Australia would vote for Ned Kelly. Famous outlaw. Famous outlaw who wore a tin mask, tin head. Played by Mick Jagger. Mick Jagger starred as Ned Kelly. Jesus, when was that movie? Late 70s, 80s, early 80s? Mick Jagger starred as Ned Kelly. Jesus. The US invades Canada. Yeah, all this talk about the US, Trump's really trolling them. All this talk about Canada being, apparently it's a popular opinion. Like they would merge somehow. Canada and the US would merge or form a closer alliance, or at least form a closer alliance. I think that's possible. It's not going to happen that it becomes the 51st state. And there wouldn't be one state. It'd be like half a dozen states or something. But yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. But yeah, apparently it's actually not unpopular for Canada to merge with the US in some way. You found the name Tricky funny. Good old Tricky Dick Smith. Hugh Jackman. Hugh Jackman could win. Right, Wolverine for president. Yeah, why not? Yep. Kevin Bloody Wilson. Yes, Kevin Bloody Wilson for president, Australian president. Boaty McBoatface. Baxter thinks that the king calls all the shots for anything that matters in Canada. Don't know about that. Nope. Flavio's got an extended opinion. If the hypothetical to go down a republic path, we will need someone who is not tied to the elite, who focuses on our country and for fellow Australians. Yeah, that's why I say no party affiliation, and no funding by anyone. No funding by anyone. If you're maybe like you would have to have a system where like the taxpayer, like if you're a candidate, like everyone gets the same amount of money or something. I don't know how it would work, but they all get the same amount of tax money, and that's your, and that's your advertising budget or whatever for your thing, yeah. But no, you can't take corporate money, you can't take personal donations. Then it's, it's one with the most money who'd probably win again. Nah, yeah. So yeah, it's hard to do right. But if you're starting from scratch, you can write those laws into the Constitution. So Dr. Carl, probably he's well known. He could do it. He has the name recognition. Trump might go after the drug cartels in Mexico. Yeah, good. You don't have to soft invade. You don't have to soft invade. I'm sure they know where all the drug cartels are. I'm sure they know where all the factories are. And you have contacts. You can just phone them up and say, your factory's going to disappear tomorrow. Get everyone out. Your factory vanishes tomorrow. Phone down. And the factory vanishes tomorrow. Via a precision strike. It's not hard. I'm sure they know where they all are. But the problem is, go down the conspiracy theory of the CIA control them anyway. It's a CIA controlled operation. In Canada, it seems like we have already. No, I've heard it's popular in Canada. I've heard it's popular. I'm going to troll the Canadians now. Become the 51st state. It's just funny. No, China's not going to invade Taiwan. China's not going to invade Taiwan. They aren't that stupid. They don't have to. China plays the long game. China's very good at the long game. People don't realise. They're very good at the long game. They just have to wait and Taiwan will eventually become theirs. They don't have to invade now. That's stupid. First time I made my own circuit board. I don't know. 9 or 10 or something? 10 years old maybe? I had a PCB, it was a Tandy thing. It was a Tandy thing. I bought my etchant and the tapes. The stick-on. They weren't genuine Bishop tapes, but they were Tandy. They were Tandy branded tapes. So you had the patterns. So you had all the patterns. So you get the dip patterns, you get transistor patterns and everything, and you get a whole bunch of tape reels of different widths and stuff, and you would tape them down straight on the bare copper. You just push them down. They've got an adhesive backing on the press and peel or whatever they're called. I don't know. Does anyone remember the name? The Tandy... Tandy PCB tape. Is it in... Someone got an old photo of it, trying to get the right name. No, nothing immediately appears on Google Images. Of course, there's Bishop Graphics, but Tandy PCB etch tape. Yeah, sure there's a photo on them somewhere, but yeah, you used to get these from Tandy. So go down to a local Tandy store and buy my blank copper. You could buy blank copper clad board. You could buy the PCB etchant, which was ferric chloride, none of that ammonium persulfate rubbish, none of that modern ammonium persulfate, was ferric chloride. When I was a boy, put hair on your chest, ferric chloride. And you would stick the tapes down. You'd actually make your own boards, you'd etch it, and you'd drill it, then you'd buy the drill bits. You could also get the drill bits from Tandy. You could get the 0.8mm drill bit. And you would etch and drill your own boards. Yeah, I don't know, it's 10 or 11 or something. Started making my own boards. And then I eventually progressed to laser printer or inkjet printer at the time, because I had an inkjet before I had a laser. And I would inkjet onto a transparent film. But it was very poor, so you had to go over it with permanent marker. So you had to like go over the whole board again with permanent marker. Oh, yeah, that took ages. But still, I could make a board in hours. Like, yeah, I could get down to 8 thou. So, yep. And then I moved on to laser printed transparencies, which once again you would have to touch up and stuff. But yeah, I was doing that I was doing that commercially as well. I was doing that when I was working at GEC Marconi. I was working at GEC Marconi, and we needed to spin some boards fast. And back then, you couldn't get boards. You couldn't get boards fast. Like it just wasn't a thing. You had to wait like a week for your boards or whatever. No, we needed boards quick. We want to make up some prototypes. We want to make one-off jigs or whatever. And yeah, so I would laser print on a transparency, and I would etch and drill my own boards at GEC Marconi, at a commercial company. They'd get upset when I'd be out in the sinks cleaning them off. Oh boy. Yeah, when I worked at GEC Marconi, I was etching my own boards there. Just because, yeah, the speed was there. I would get the job done. And back then, that was the era of when you had to pay for a whole panel. Like you couldn't, there's none of this $5 for 10 boards bullshit. You get these days, you would pay $800 and you would get the full panel. And you would, okay, it's $800 for a panel. For a standard double-sided plate through solder mask board, I think it was, $800 for a panel, and you'd wait your week or your 15 days or whatever. Like, yeah, I think it was common to wait 15 days or something. So it was almost, it's like 2 weeks or something. I think you could get a rush job in a week. But yeah, it was like, yep. So I just made my own boards. Yep, surface mount stuff, through hole. You can top that. David Hicks. Oh my God, there's a name I haven't heard forever. My God. Red Simons. Oh God. How old's Red now? Rupert Murdoch. You love the smell of ferric chloride in the morning. Yes. Yeah, I would go outside, hold them up to my sun, although I had my own light box. So I actually bought my own light box in from home. When I was working at GSC Marconi, I bought in my own light box from home, and I'd be exposing them. But yeah, I also used to, just expose to the sun. It didn't take long. It was like 5-minute exposure. The sun is, especially here in Australia, I think 5 minutes in the sun from memory. It wasn't long. It was like 15 minutes in my light box. Or it was like 5 minutes in the sun. Sometimes I just went, I'm in a hurry today. Sun's out. Let's go stand out there in the 5 minutes instead of 15 minutes in the light box. 15 or 20, I don't know. It was a bit lengthy, but I could make a board in an hour. I could get a board finished and done in an hour. No problem. How to safely dispose of ferric chloride. Yeah, I used to pour it in the garden. Used to pour it outside. You truly miss Radio Shack? Rat Shack? Wasn't called Radio Shack here, it was called Tandy. I have work experience at the Tandy Intertan factory, the repairing Tandy computers. Yeah, it made a board for your silicon chip article in 1993, yep. Yeah, there wasn't a Dick Smith near me. I had to hop on a bus to Blacktown. Blacktown was my nearest, so I had to hop on a bus, take, 45, 50 minutes, or whatever to get to Blacktown to go to the nearest Dick Smith store. Whereas I had a local Tandy store. I could literally walk to my local Tandy store. And then I had the Tandy factory. The main Intertan Tandy factory was in Mount Druitt. And yeah, I could ride my bike. I would ride my bike to the local Tandy, and because the Tandy Intertan factory, a warehouse thing, you know, I didn't make stuff there, but that's where they had their repair centre, which repaired all the Tandy computers and other Tandy stuff. Back then, you could actually get stuff repaired locally by Tandy, and they would have a shop front. They would have a shop front there as well, and they had an awesome back room. You'd go into the back room. So I'd ride my bike there every week just to go in the back room where they got tons, like all the stuff that they were evaluating for sale, and they decided not to go ahead, or scrap stuff, or scrap repair items and stuff like that. They had junk bins out in the Tandy Intertan out back. It was literally a back room where they had, stuff. It was great. It was great. Picked up lots of bargains there. Favourite lesson in doing so? Favourite lesson is that, yes, you can make your own boards, and they work. And and you can do them very quick. Yeah, I could have a board in an hour. So if I need to make something, and an hour later I've got a PCB. Assuming I didn't have to lay, you know, I've already got the layout, of course. Yep. Very quick, but you know, like you had to, like you'd often get you'd get over etches. Like if you missed a spot and it got overexposed, you might have a break in your trace or something like that. But yeah, you would either test them, you do your own flying probe testing after the board if it's a problem, but you can usually see visually. Like it's not like you're going to get a hairline crack. You'll just get something eaten through. It's usually quite obvious, so you just inspect it, and you can usually see any breaks. Occasionally there might be some hairline shorts if you've got very dense 8/8 thou traces. You know, if you've got a big bust, you might get like an under edge. You know, there might have been contamination on the bit of dust flies in under the film, and like so if your actual process isn't clean, you might get like a hairline short between your traces and stuff like that. But usually you can pick those in inspection. Usually. Because they're not solder masks, so there's no solder mask that hides that sort of stuff. So it's just bare copper, so you can easily just hold it to the light and you can see where, you know, it's shiny copper. And you can scrub it shiny. You know, it's nice and shiny, so you can see shorts and breaks and stuff. But yeah, it's fun. No, I've really got to catch up with the chat, sorry. What is the best SMD size for prototyping? I still think 0805. I still think 0805 is the best. Or, you know, don't do 0402. Oh my God, if you're going to hand assemble shit, or even if you got your own pick and place machine, like unless you're absolutely doing like a miniaturized thing, don't go below 0603. Don't be an idiot. Don't do 0402. Nuts. Just don't. It's not, unless you absolutely, you know, unless you're, prototyping something that needs to be tiny. You know, a little fit to envelope thing that, fine. Okay, well, then you're going to have to go through it. But why make pain for yourself? If you got the room, just use 0805. Although 0603 is more common these days. Although, is it? I don't know. Haven't checked lately. But yeah, 0603 is fine. But 0805 is like really piss easy. Like it's so wonderful. It's so wonderful is the word when you solder an 0805. Yep. Then again, you know, I used to do 0402 by eye, you know, but I can't anymore. So not 0402, Baxter, is the answer. Yeah, I got everything from Tandy back in the day. You know, occasionally I'd make the big trip to Dick Smith, or I'd go to David Reed in the city. And they had a J car in the city as well. So I'd go to Silicon Alley in the city. So I'd hop on the train, an hour on the train into the city from the western suburbs. I'd go to Kent Street. Kent Street in the city there was J car, Dick Smith, Altronics, and David Reed's. All in a line. And Tandy as well. Actually, was Altronics there? Yeah, I think that. God. Anyway, yeah, they're all in a line. So they're all on the one strip. They're right next to each. It's called Silicon Alley. It was called here. Just push enough current. Nah, just get the knife out and nick it. You cannot get a microcurrent. Oh, you can probably. There's people who sell microcurrents, Mike, but you can't get one from me. It's open source, so you can just. There's other people who sell it. Or you can make one yourself. Yeah, same as me. Retro Z machine used to be able to do surface mount by eye in the 90s. Yeah. Like until 10 years ago, I could do 0402 by eye, no problems. But yeah, hence the glasses now. I've only recently had the glasses. They're recently, 5 years? I've had my glasses now, I think. Maybe 4, 5 years. York Street. Yes, York Street. York Street, Sydney. What did I say Kent for? Oh, I said Kent because that's where I always park. That's where I always park now. I got my favourite parking spot on Kent Street in the city. York Street. Of course, York Street. Brain fart. Oh, Mike Irving. Yep. 8K Tagano microscope. I'm still waiting for my 4K Tagano microscope. But they're not interested. Yeah, people take it for granted now. Your 5 boards for $5 from China in what, days? Unbelievable. Like, it's changed the game completely. It's changed it completely. And 4 layers is piece of piss. 6 layers is still piece of piss. Like, it's just... Yeah, you might wait an extra couple of days for a 6-layer board. Unbelievable. Oh, sorry, Rod Irving. Yeah, Mike. Rod Irving Electronics. Yeah, that was difficult for me to get to. Rod Irving was... went there a few times, but yeah, that was... Rod Irving was... where was it? Eastern suburbs, southeast. Where was Rod Irving? It was difficult for me to get to. I had to take multiple trains and then walk. And yeah, it was... Rod Irving was hard to get to. Can't remember where Rod Irving was, but yeah, it was not easy. Not easy at all. Yeah, there's tons of places in Australia named after my state is New South Wales. New South Wales, the state I'm in. It's literally named after Wales. Yeah, Wyong Field Day. I heard it's back this year. I think somebody told me that the Wyong Field Day is back. Don't quote me on that. I can't remember who told me. Someone told me. Can you see the X chat? Yes, I can. X comments will show up here. Like I can find, there's not many. Scrolling back through. Yeah, there's no X chats, but I can see it should pop up X because I'm using StreamYard. StreamYard will pull in X chats. Can somebody on X? Can somebody who's watching me on X right now please leave a comment? Please leave a live comment. The tour of the alarm factory, one of your favourites? Yeah, that was fun. No, nobody's on X? Nobody's watching me on X? Maybe the feed's died. I don't know. Maybe the feed's died. Or somehow, or the comment, pulling in the comments from X, maybe it's died. Or there's no one watching. Apparently 791 people have watched this from, 695 people have watched this from X. Doesn't mean they're still watching, because it's not a live count. I can see 3 people commenting on X. Oh, okay. Looks like StreamYard's failed. Yeah, okay then. StreamYard has failed. Thanks, Pro Engineer. All right, StreamYard is not pulling in X comments. Sorry. Usually it was pulling in at the start of the video. The first comment was from X. So, I don't know. It's the first time new StreamYard bug. Anyway, I better go soon. I've been on here for an hour and a half. Jeez, that's too long. Got stuff to do. Stuff to do. Yep. So I better call it quits. And thank you, everyone, for joining me. Blame Starlink. No. No, it's held up. Starlink seems fine. And unless it's a business requirement, I can recommend freeing yourself from social media. Mileage may vary. That's what my Amp Hour co-host, the esteemed Chris Gamble, did. He's no longer on X. And, he moved over to Mastodon, but he doesn't, I don't think he basically went off social media. Although he still posts on Mastodon occasionally, I believe. No, I enjoy X too much. I am not getting off X. It's where I get all my news. It's where where everyone interacts with me. X is working. Oh, there you go, working. There you go, it works. See the little X symbol down there? Works. Still working. Maybe it's not pulling them all in. Maybe it's pulling them in randomly. I don't know. Don't know how that works. Or doesn't work. Anyway, thanks for joining me, everyone. I am out of here, and congratulations to everyone from Canada. Well done. Well done for getting rid of that stain on your country. And hopefully you can get back on track. Richard fixed it. Dick fixed it. Watch him also on YouTube. Yeah, looks like they're coming through. There you go. Excellent. All right, thanks everyone. We'll catch you next time.